I don't even care.
Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I play it is on the field. When I want to feel, no, I got mask skill. You know we about to eat this a fast meal. I gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. Keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. Everyone sick, make them pay me some bad bro. I do like Superman, so you know he ain't at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We call him blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the number one draft. Got it on top, but I ain't hating. They only listen to Keyshawn and about the Bills dominating all the field. All our players got the skills. Buffalo won't make it kill. When we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo won't make it kill.
I need to get it out.
Oh, I bet you did.
What's going on? Put the camera on me.
No, you don't deserve the camera. You don't deserve the camera on. You don't deserve the camera. You know what? Forget the intro. Forget the intro. This is what I gotta say, y'all.
No.
Your co-host is an AO right now, bro. This man had the audacity to say was so aggressive.
You need to be thankful for that mic you talking on right now.
This man told me you're not using your hands to unscrew a mic. You're not screwing the mic the right way.
Your wrist game is weak. You wasn't screwing that mic fast enough.
That's pause, bro.
That's what I was trying to say.
That's pause.
Yeah, I don't care if it's pause or not. That's what it is.
Chat.
You can say
put
what
it
you
in
want.
the comments. That is pause. I want you to repeat what you said to me earlier. I want you to repeat what you said to me earlier.
I just did. I just repeated it. I just told you.
I want y'all to put AO in the chat right now. Everybody in the chat put AO right now.
Just so y'all know, this is a father and son. This is a real life father and son.
Oh, it is.
So listen. This is what happened. I'll tell you what happened right now.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, explain yourself.
So we were a little behind schedule getting equipment set up for the show, right? And there's another microphone just to the left of me here that was on a stand. It was on a floor stand. And I was telling June he needed to come grab that mic and set it up on his desktop stand. So he's sitting there talking to us the whole time. And I noticed this microphone is not screwing off the stand. Like, it's taking way too long. So I'm like, yo, June, you screwing too slow, bro. Like, and he's like he'd rather sit there and say pause 50 times than actually screw the microphone off fast enough.
The way you're saying it is AO, bro. What do you mean?
I don't care if it's AO, bro. You're not getting the mic off fast enough.
Keyshawn, is that not AO? You saying it too? The way you look at him, you was like, bro, I can't believe.
I mean, it's hilarious, whatever it is.
Key,
I was laughing.
No, Key, do not fall for shenanigans, bro. Do not fall for shenanigans.
How fast was my wrist action getting that mic off?
Bro, nobody cares about your wrist action.
It was like you had been there before.
Cares about your wrist action, bro. Nobody cares about that, bro.
Yeah. Render's coming here already laughing. We didn't get through the intro. We didn't get through the music. Nothing. Everything's just brushed up.
Get this man the balls to say that, bro. No, you want to speak on that now? Let's speak on it now. Go ahead.
He does keep getting caught in trouble.
Oh,
at this point, he don't want peace. He wants pause.
There's pause everywhere.
I don't want peace. I want pause always.
Because I know it bothers him. I was just like messing with him.
Of course you did. And the fact that you had the audacity to kept going on with the aggressiveness.
It's so hilarious having a 20-year-old, 21-year-old in there when we're over 40.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you can see just his brain is melting as it goes.
My brain is already going crazy right now, bro.
That's cool.
No, it's not cool. No, it's not. I'm not okay with that.
And the funny part is I came today with the professional. See, I got the button up with no hat. And it's over.
No do-rag, no nothing. And here you go. Somebody,
I'll be right back when I go change.
Right. You ain't twisting it right. You ain't screwing it right. Oh, yeah, I'm not. Bro.
When you do it right, I'll let you know, son.
There you go.
When you do it right, I'll let you know. Anyway, look.
Welcome to the show, y'all.
Yes, welcome to the show, everybody. This is the post-podium.
No, forget that.
Can I do my intro?
No.
Why?
I pray that the set lives for the whole show today. Because if I hear another crash out moment, this whole show will be done.
That's a promise.
Okay. We'll see if that happens. Maybe not.
It's a promise.
Until that point, until we get to that point, this is the Post Podium Podcast. We are the home of all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
And I think I'm still 40 keys. I'm not really sure anymore.
Maybe.
We'll find out later.
So June, let's do this real quick.
And this is Crash Out Ayo, bro.
Crash Out Ayo.
Crash Out Ayo.
Okay.
We June, you didn't set up the lights? Oh my gosh, I was wondering why we was looking so dark out here.
It's fine. We got a dark episode going on. So we gonna make it.
So June, put the camera on Key, because Key is gonna start us off with stuff we heard.
Oh yeah.
And then come on, set up some lights.
Okay.
Or you got me crashing already. I forgot to do the lights.
So what we got right now
put
is
that on you, bro.
We're looking at Kansas City. Kansas City right now is in a contract conundrum because their second and third round picks decided to look at social media, look at ESPN and the likes, and found out that Jaden Higgins signed a fully guaranteed contract as a second rounder.
What?
Omar Norman Lott now is holding out until he gets a fully guaranteed contract as a second rounder. And Noah Williams, which is their third round cornerback out of Cal, is also looking for a fully guaranteed contract.
I had a feeling.
So, but what we didn't know was that not only was it Jaden Higgins, Carson Schweisinger, that linebacker we were talking about out of USC or UCLA, he got one too. So this is going to be a thing now. You know, they do a rookie wage. I didn't know you can negotiate, let alone now you're getting fully guaranteed contracts. That's I don't know. I mean, it's out of control to the point where everybody wants a piece of their pie.
Oh yeah,
everybody wants a piece of the pie. They told Brett Veach, they said, "Can I get to the yams?" That's what they said. Now, did you know that that's not the original version of that song? That's not where that came from. The origin of that song is not what you hear with Charlie Wilson and
wait, that's a real song? Can I get to the yams?
That's a real song.
Wow.
However, did you know?
Wait, Jim, the lights behind Key.
I am
here. I'll put it on me. I'll put it on me real quick. Hold on. There. Oh no, that's the wrong one.
Did you know that the origin of that actually came from a Martin Lawrence episode with Varnell Hill, where he was talking about how he had his own lake in his backyard. He had catfish. He had this and that and third. And Martin's like, "How do I get that? How do I get to the yams?" That's where it came from. So they took Martin Lawrence in 1990, we'll say 4, and moved it to 2023 and morphed it into a song. If you want to, they know the song. People in the chat, I know they know the song.
Okay.
But yeah,
behind on all that, bro. Like
okay.
if I don't hear it in passing on the radio, I'm just not gonna hear it.
I can't believe you don't know that song.
I'm sorry.
He'll turn, he said dressing like a fluent from Charlotte. No. From the PJ. You know where I came from, really? Today was leadership day with Ken at his school. So
okay.
So I had to represent. Mind you, T went this year, and I told you, I said, this is what's gonna happen. Blah 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 blah. It's gonna be interestingly not. But we're gonna show support to all the kids. Okay. So the first time she saw it, she's new to it. I've done it the rounds 3 times now. And so we go to Ken's classroom. And the first thing they do when I walk in there, well, he's tall. That's Ken's dad. Y'all saw me last year, the year before that. You know I'm tall.
No, it's a surprise every time.
Evidently, I walked through there. Wow. I'm like, okay. All right. So, yeah. So we did that. I said, let me just get gussied up just a little bit, And we went in there, and I am tired. Yes, I am.
Understandably so.
But we made it. We did make it. Yeah, we made it. It's Friday, thank God.
Okay. So the initial point you were making about shoot, I just lost my train of thought.
About the second round guarantee?
Yeah, so I think, and thank you. I think that is because we talked a little bit about this before. I really think that's a wave coming where this is going to be a thing that teams do because they feel that the investment on these rookies coming in are more of a safe bet rather than to go out and buy a higher priced free agent. And look, let's be honest. I really think when you look at the initial change that happened, when did they change that rule? Sam Bradford was drafted first overall in what year?
Was that 2009? 2000? It was somewhere around there.
Sam Bradford.
But I think didn't Cam Newton get one too?
He was drafted in.
Newton was 2011. I think he got a $60 million deal too. Then after that, I think it was after that.
2010.
Okay, 2010. Then
so 2011
next year.
Yeah.
Okay, so was it 2011 or was it 2012? What did Newton get? Let me see. Like I gotta look it up because I know you're in the right ballpark. It very well may have been, but I thought Cam got it as well. And after him, that's when they're like, there's something wrong because these guys are starting to suck and they're making too much money.
So my thought is once they got to that point in 2011 where they changed that structure, that was a brand new agreement they came to where there was going to be a rookie wage scale to avoid these teams paying these rookies that hadn't done anything in the league these super high prices, right? And I think the teams were all for that because of some of the injuries that were happening to these first round picks coming in that caused them to have to either eat that money for a year or it kind of messed up their salary cap because that number just kept going up and up and up and up and up. I think teams welcomed the change. You know what I mean? We get these young guys in here on prove it deals. Essentially, we're paying them, nothing. And if they come in and they actually become a star, well, we still got them for another 4 or 5 years if we want on super cheap contracts. Right. I think they loved that idea. Right. And I think the players that were already in the league enjoy that too, because hey, more money for us. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? We get a bigger piece of the pie now. So I think from this point on, though, we're gonna see a shift back to paying these rookies, the bigger deals and stuff, because now the free agents. I mean, look at wide receivers making $30 million. You know what I'm saying? And look, if Colston Loveland or one of these other tight ends gets another deal because they're a receiving tight end and they're putting up all these numbers, I mean, George Kittle just got a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these free agents out here are making like nobody. If you would have told me Javon Holland was worth $15 million, I'd have told you kick rocks. Like you can't convince me of that. I haven't seen him do it. I know he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I know he's a good player, but $15 million. You know what I'm saying? So I think the teams, the franchises are seeing these free agents, the market value for these guys go up so high that it's kind of, like they have to kind of tilt the scales back the other way now with all this money starting to go back towards the rookies. So I think we should definitely look forward to that being more of a thing going forward, though.
Yeah, I mean, I once again, what's one person or one team that you didn't hear involved in this muck?
Bills. Yeah,
like it or not, they get the benefit of the doubt because they select the right players that have the right mentality to do the right things when they need them to. They're not in a position to get these guys that demand things, that come in with the shades, the stunner shades,
because they're all just happy to be here.
They're just happy to be here. And yep. I mean, like I said, that's fine, but it's a trend. At this point, it's a trend.
Yeah.
In 9 years, you haven't had not one.
Yeah,
that's remarkable.
You know why? Because Daquan Hardy was an example. There were other examples of guys that, training camp, you don't do what they want you to do, or if you deviate from the game plan, they have no issue whatsoever dropping you behind. Period. I mean, Isaiah Hodgins was a promising player. He got hurt, and they looked at that as, well, you're not available. Yeah. And that's the top ability you can have is availability. You're not available. Sorry, bro. I don't care how good of a receiver you are. Peace. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta go. Yeah, but they set themselves up to be that with the free agents that they get.
Yeah.
For better or worse, however that affects the salary cap and however that affects, the following year's cap situations, that's what they've done. And I think that's what's empowered them to kind of have this leverage over these rookies, especially coming in. Veterans maybe not so much, but even if you look at the way that they structure a lot of these deals with free agents, it's all prove-it deals.
I'm gonna say it's masterful. I will say it is masterful, and it works out in our favor. They can't seem to find the cheap talent. So they pay for the talent, but they get the guys that come in, that maybe a starter, maybe
you squeeze a little bit more,
squeeze a little more juice out of them. Right. If they can't, they put them on the bench and they back them up, say they're a special teams player, and they call them a special teams maven. We've seen that with Cam Lewis. We've seen that with Metakevich. We've seen that with Damar Hamlin at one point in time. We've seen it with a lot of guys that they say they prop up and say they're going to be the special teams guy. I don't know enough about the NFL game to know that everybody cares as much about special teams as we do, but that's something that the Bills always talk about is special teams. And they got the rhetoric on all the different podcasts saying the same thing. Special teams. Is this guy special? They're telling us who's the special team. Is it a fifth on the depth chart? Is it second? Is it third? Who is it? They know who's supposed to be. You can't be a fifth. You can't be the fifth wide receiver. You're not a teams player. Yes, you can.
Right.
Yes, you can.
Most teams allow you to do that.
Right. It's cool.
Yep. Heel Turn Merch says Carlos Williams in the running back room. What a monster rookie season. Something happened in the offseason and they cut him.
I know there was. Go ahead.
One of the most shocking things to happen following his rookie year. What was it?
It was all those concussions he was getting. He was pounding them up. That's what it was. He was injured. He was injury prone, so they got rid of him. I mean, it was to the point where they were like, can he even make another season? You know, he just kept it's the way he played. He played too tough. He played with his head down. That's before you couldn't put the crown of your helmet in somebody's chest.
Yeah.
And he did it.
Yeah.
And he kept knocking himself out. So they were like, thanks, but no thanks. We got to move on because this isn't viable. Even though it's fun and it's working, how long is it going to work? You know, so that's what that was about.
Because I mean, there were people that were talking about his weight and all that kind of stuff being the reason, but that makes a lot more sense. That's more stomachable.
Yeah,
I was
palatable. Well, yeah, it's more palatable. We'll say yes.
There you go. Palatable is nice. Joey Sands said, "Pause for Kincaid dropping the ball in the AFC Championship game." Yeah, you're
probably right.
There's a right time to drop balls, and there's another pause. There's a bad time to drop balls.
That's a bad time.
Why are you saying balls like that?
Well,
how do you say balls?
Just say ball. You dropped the ball.
That's what he said.
No, you said ball.
You would have said pause if I said ball or plural balls.
No, if you.
The comment said the ball, but I mean, you know, if you drop more than one ball, then you know, I mean,
that's multiple balls.
Yeah.
Pause.
What? You know what?
Can't win.
Right. Laura says, "Happy Friday, PPP. 2 days to play. Yay, weekend."
Oh yeah, a nice little sales pitch. If you guys want the unpausable version, head on over to our membership.
There you go. There you go.
You want membership?
You want to hear unpausable content? You got to be in our Discord.
Where is it at? Where's Discord? Where's Discord?
I don't know.
I will find the Discord.
I didn't see your $2.
I have not.
I didn't see your $2.
I'll put in $2.
Yeah. Yes, Christian. This is listen. Heel Turn Merch. You got to go to his site. I love this shirt. This joint say Hurdle Avenue, and it's got him hurdling over the Arizona Cardinals player.
Dang, if he would have said West Hurdle Avenue, I'm like, yo,
not West Hurdle.
Absolutely,
it's all Hurdle.
No, I went to West Hurdle. West Hurdle, baby.
You went to West Hurdle?
Yeah.
Wow, I used to live right on Sunnyside. Right.
Did you?
There. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
West Hurdle. Yeah. That was man. Yeah, so I like this shirt, but again, Heel Turn Merch, that's where you get this shirt. This one I wore this butter, how old of a term is that? I wore this real nice Josh Allen portrait. It was like all black with the white kind of, I don't know what the name of that design is called, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't even know what the name, but it's like a portrait style picture of Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen's face, but it's dope.
Oh, the one on Monday.
The one I want.
I was just thinking when you said butter, Junior was probably in there with his slang handbook trying to figure it out.
Maybe if he's got a slang handbook, I want a copy of it. I need one too.
No, you ain't getting
it. Okay,
like
all
butter.
right, that's fine.
Dang.
So look, one of the things that I wanted to throw in there, have you heard about the NBA trying to get back into Sunday night and Monday night games?
No.
I was very surprised when I heard this. NBC in particular is bringing back Sunday night and Monday night games. And I'm not about to make this a basketball conversation, but portrait silhouette. Thank you, Heel Turn. Thank you. So yeah, definitely heelturnmerch.com. I believe it is, if I'm not mistaken, heelturnmerch.com. I'll get the link and I'll start putting it in the description of videos. But anyway, definitely check him out. I love the designs he's got, the Bill stuff there. He's got Saber stuff, and I think he's got some WWE stuff too. All of it's great. So the NBA now trying to come back. They must be feeling themselves or something like that. But I know they used to have that back in the day.
Oh yeah.
But even like that was kind of before, like the NFL back then and the NBA were kind of like neck and neck. You know what I mean? Because Jordan was still playing, and so there was more of this feel of both sports were like, you know, vying for positioning and all that kind of stuff. But I can't imagine anybody overtaking the NFL right now or even coming close to competing. I respect the NBA and I respect everything that they've done since the expected decline of LeBron James, because realistically, everybody kind of thought like, who's going to be the next guy? Now they have several. You know what I'm saying? They got several guys who are exciting to watch and are leading their teams even this season into the playoffs, right? That's cool, but I just can't see them doing the kind of numbers that they want to do on a Sunday night or a Monday night.
You know what? Save that for later on because I will make that episode on this Sunday.
Going over the comparison of Sunday night and Monday nights?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. But I brought it up now, so what do you want me to do?
Show fit. Yeah, plug his show. Plug his show. Go ahead, Junior. What's your show?
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Listen,
because
you already
Key. What do you think?
I mean, I say you plug his show. Keep on moving.
I will finish this conversation on Sunday with my show.
What is your show?
Basketball, Truth, and Knowledge.
Basketball what?
Truth and Knowledge.
Basketball what?
Truth and Knowledge.
There you go. Find it on YouTube. Subscribe.
Yeah,
watch it. It's a good time.
Holla at that.
The truth.
The truth.
Okay, you adding words now. We don't like that.
Because I speak nothing but the truth.
So,
why you?
Thoughts on Brock Purdy being I think he's like the 9th highest paid quarterback now in the NFL.
I mean, it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. You know, you think about what was it? Derrick Henry just signed. Did he sign? Is it the second biggest contract now? Because I know he got 15. Derrick Henry, he got 15 mil.
He has the biggest contract in NFL history for a running back over 30.
Too many caveats. But anyway, yeah. So and that just goes to show. I'm not going to make this into that conversation, but that just goes to show where that market is going. So just put that in back of the back of your cap. But no, I think for Brock Purdy being in 9th, that's probably about right because you got to look. I don't know who's coming up next year and the year after that, but that's probably about where he should be slated because that's going to drop him down to 13, 14, 15 in the next year or two. So, the fact that you don't reset the market, you barely crack the top 10 on a brand new contract. That's good. That's where he should be.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. Look, the most important position on any team is quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
The weird thing about Kyle Shanahan's system, and it's very similar to, well, we all know Mike McDaniels came from that system, right? But for both systems, really, the quarterback does not need to have elite physical talent, right? He needs to be efficient. He needs to be able to process quickly, and he needs to be accurate. And I think Brock Purdy's the perfect guy for that system. I feel terrible for the team that they went to, they went to a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they weren't able to get that done. So, look, is this going to handicap that team? I honestly don't think so. I think they draft way too well.
Yeah, they lost to the Chiefs when the linebacker popped his Achilles or whatever it was. ACL.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I imagine they are going to be back to being good very soon. And so, you know what? That brings me to this thought. I was looking at the Ravens depth chart. Ravens depth chart. I'm going to pull that up really quick because we play them week 1, right?
Yep.
And something that I saw the Ravens doing that I thought was interesting was if you look at their defensive depth chart, they changed it. So yeah, they definitely changed it. Okay, so they got Owe as the starter, and they got Mike Green as the backup. Right? When I looked at this depth chart, because as soon as I found out we were playing them, I wanted to go look at the team and figure out what they were doing. So they have moved some players around since, but they have Mike Green is the pass rusher they drafted. Wow, they got very interesting. Okay, so they have Kyle Hamilton listed as their nickelback, their nickel corner in this defense. Which would make so it looks like they're putting Ardarius Washington as their strong safety. Malachi Starks is a starting free safety. Originally, when I looked at it a couple of days ago, they had Marlon Humphrey as their nickel corner. They had Mike Green as their 3rd string right outside linebacker, and they had Owe as their 2nd string. So they've changed it, which kind of messes up my point a little bit.
It's okay, make it. You didn't read it. It's okay. We didn't hear it. We heard nothing. Just go ahead. Make your point.
No, so I mean, all I was really trying to get at is the Ravens are traditionally a team that drafts well. I think just about everybody would agree that the Ravens draft well, period, on both sides of the ball. And when you look at the guys that they've drafted, it isn't, you know, and I mean in the first, second, and third rounds, these are not guys that you kind of look at and be like, oh, they're going to take some time to develop. These are guys that like, yo, they get some playing time. They a beast just like, you know, the guy that they're going to be backing up on the team, right? But I wanted to ask you about this. Mike Green compared to Odafe Owe. Is there any comparison at all? Is Owe that much better than Mike Green to where Mike Green should be backing him up? Like, what's the comparison in your mind right now? And I'm going somewhere with this.
I think Green is they're comparable. They're the same style. Always been there. He's done it. You know, even in the small sample sizes he's had what 8-9 sacks, 8.5 sacks, whatever it was. And Mike Green could easily be that guy. But you have to wait and see. You know, he's still developmental. He came from Marshall, a small school, got asked to leave University of Virginia. So, you know, they don't know a lot about him. I'm sure that, you know, they vetted him, so they say, but there's a lot more to learn from him. And Owe was coming on strong last year. You know, he was that rotational piece that you could see.
Yeah.
And plus they just signed him to a contract that pays him a lot more than what he was making before. So now they're like, you know what? They paid him like a starter. He's their starter. I think they're going to rotate him, or you'll see sets with both of them on the field at the same time.
Okay. And then, yeah, because they still got Kyle Van Noy, but I mean, Kyle Van Noy has been a really good playmaker on passing downs for that team. So, I mean, it helps to have a Mike Green, because I think Kyle Van Noy did get hurt last season. So this, you know, having a guy like Mike Green to just throw in there in case, you know, Kyle Van Noy goes down, or I think always had some injury stuff with him too. So. It's nice to have a third guy in the lineup that you can just toss in there and not have to worry about. But I did think it was a little different from how the Bills have done these things, right? When the Bills get their draft picks, and this is just a different way of doing things. I'm not saying it's worse or better. All I'm saying is the Bills typically, when they get a guy and they put that guy into the depth chart, it's usually whoever our veteran guys are, those are the highest guys on the depth chart. Rare, you know, and then you get the occasional first round pick like a Max Hairston that comes in and fills a very big need that the Bills either chose not to or weren't able to fill the way they wanted to fill in free agency, right? It is a different approach, but again, I have not heard, and I will go look at the Ravens salary cap situation right now, but I don't really hear about the Ravens having salary cap issues or being tight with the cap or making a specific move because their cap prevented them from doing anything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you really can't think about it. They just gave Derrick Henry money. You know, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Raquan Smith, you got Mark Andrews, you got Matabuike, you got these guys that they signed, they just gave money to. So even if they were in cap situations, you could look at it and say, this is why they're in there, because of their quarterback, because of their running back, because of their linebackers that they just re-signed, these up and coming young guys that they have. I mean, they're backloaded in a fashion that we would want our team to be backloaded as well. You know, we're talking about some, you know, where do just the guys fit? And they're not top loaded in the fashion of Cincinnati, but they have talent all over the place, and they have the coaches that can utilize it, and proven so. Our guys will probably get there in Brady and Babbage, but they're just not there yet as rookies-ish coordinators, especially in this system, in this scenario, on a team that actually can go somewhere.
Right.
I'm talking to Joe Brady with that, but I think Babbage just had a talent deficit last year. And we'll talk about that a little later, because Laura asked a question in the chat. Laura, I did see it, and I got it in my notes that you wanted us to talk about. I think you brought it up like a while ago, but I have it.
In the Discord, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, we're not doing that. Let's see. We're not doing that. You're not gonna bait me. But I want to see what he says. We'll find out if Cook decides to use the one game as leverage, or if he's ready for him to get going. Henry got paid, so will Cook pull a no-show?
No, he's coming.
He's going to come.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to come he actually doesn't have to come for a long while, because I think they said with his contract, he gets fined, but he gets it back when he shows up.
Okay.
So they can find him to the cows come home, and he's gonna get his money back.
No, I think, and I think that was what I was trying to bring out when I brought the Cook point to everybody. I think it was Monday when we talked about Cook again.
For the umpteenth time.
Yeah. So the point that I was trying to get across with that is I think Cook has decided to strategically adjust to the way that the Bills like to conduct their business, which is keep everything hush hush behind closed doors. And this is smart on Cook's part, because what that does for him is that kind of opens the door for the Bills to show how much they're willing to trust him going into the season, how much they're willing to trust him during the season. And then all of that will translate into, the impression that James Cook will get from the team as to whether or not they plan on really paying him at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I think this is a smart strategy by him to just not, okay, fine. I know how you guys like to do business. I'm not going to give you a reason to go to the media about me the same way that you did with Steph Diggs, because I see what all the Bills fans are saying about me now, calling me a diva, blah, blah, blah. And you guys are all just letting this play out, because in your mind, that gives you more leverage over me. Okay, so I'm going to just stay quiet. I'm going to play your game. I'm going to play my game during the season, and then we'll see. At that point, we'll see, because the rest of the league is watching what's going on right now. Yeah. Everybody is watching and seeing what I do, and they're going to see what y'all do at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think the Shay and Ocho, the nightcap in the car, that was kind of like the clearing what my brother said up. My brother said 20 mil, that's not where I'm at, but I put this number out, and this is why. We talked to Derrick Henry, we talked to Jahmyr Gill, we talked to Bijan, we talked to Saquon, and this is what we said we're going to do together. So now it comes out again in this poker interview. He's like, that's not what I'm trying to talk about. I don't care about that. I said it, you heard it, we're done. Let's talk about something else. He's like, that's it's out there, everybody knows, but that's not what I'm harping on. I'm not going to be in my driveway doing sit-ups and while reporters standing around me. I'm not going to be Antonio Brown with a helmet on and no shirt on, just acting a fool. I'm trying to be me.
Yeah.
But you guys won't let me. I didn't, and he didn't clarify 15 mil was a guarantee. Was it not? What is the breakdown? Because he doesn't care. But basically, it's a metaphor for saying I'm supposed to get more money than we're making now. That's what it is. And that's why that 15 million, the actual number, the concrete number 15, it drives me crazy. Tommy will say whatever, Bills Mafia experience will say whatever, but I think that's why I fight back, because it's not whether he's worth 15 mil. He's just saying, pay me more, because that's what my position is worth.
Right.
We'll sort out the number, but that 7 or 8 that you offer me is not going to get it done. And that's what he's saying. And a lot of people say that, we'll give him, give him 9 million guaranteed, take it or leave it. Well, he's going to leave it because somebody's going to give him that 12, 13. And I mean, believe it or not, Buffalo's not the only place that people like to play.
Right.
So, you got to meet in the middle somewhere. That's the thing.
Cato says Bill should have used them on draft day if they was going to go on this draft defense overhaul. Yeah, I look, that's one of the things I was saying. Like if you
no, not you. Oh yeah, I did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Tommy. Yes, you did.
James Cook was spoken.
He was. He's like Candyman.
What was Devin Singletary spoken?
Nah, go back in your hole.
Yeah. Go back in your hole. No, but yeah, that was what I wanted the Bills to do. And when we first heard about James Cook probably getting into a contract dispute, that was the first thing I was saying. Okay, cool. He's a running back. You trade him. Right. But what I didn't expect and what I'm not happy with now is you just gonna let him play out the last year of his contract. And if you don't resign him, he's just gone for nothing. Right. I'm always a proponent of getting value wherever you can get value. That's why I like the success that the Bills have had with the draft picks that they've had. They have definitely gotten more out of their players than what most teams are able to do from the standpoint of accumulation of production. You know what I mean? Like it's not any one player that's just like bursting out and becoming a superstar. It's all of these B-level players that are coming in and working hard and putting forth the effort. And then you got Josh Allen just kind of like, all right, all y'all got to do is hang on tight and I got this. Right. You know what I'm saying? And they all just push forward and they get as much as they can done. But my point in saying all this is this. The James Cook situation in general comes down to management of assets. he was a major asset in the draft if you wanted to move up and really get an elite playmaking defensive player. You easily could have gotten a die from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a great pick for you because now you got a guy that can play nickel, he can play safety, he can play outside. This guy can play everywhere.
Oh, Barron.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jahdae Barron. Yeah. So that's an easy solution there. You could have gotten a defensive tackle. Who was the guy that went after Mason Graham that was good?
Was that Kenneth Grant?
I think it was Kenneth Grant. Yeah. You probably could have gotten him. You know what I'm saying? And roll with that and see. But here's the thing. That probably wouldn't have taken you that much. If you go James Cook and a first, and then you probably give up what? One of your fourths or something from next year?
Next year. Yeah.
Let's just say you give up one of your fourths. You gave up one of your fourths anyway to move up in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we? I'm sorry, move up in the second round. So what do we? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like they didn't already do that. So
I mean the thing is, I said it right after the fact. They want James Cook. They think they're getting James Cook back. That's what it is. They think they're getting James back. People don't believe it, but that's what it is. And Columbus said 2-6 is available. Yeah, he's available to 26 other teams too. So they can have at it, knock themselves out. I thought Steve actually had a kind of a question, but you know how Steve asks his questions.
I love it.
He said, "I wonder who planted the diva story in the Bills media. It takes a lot of sellouts with scratchy voices to make brainwashed fans parrot the narrative." Yeah.
And the scratchy voices.
And that's the thing. That's why 768 people are watching the show right now, because they don't have that brainwashed mentality. They don't have that. For me, they don't have that. They have brains in their skull, you know. Yep. And whether they agree with us or not, like I said, I don't care if you agree with me or not. I just want you to tell me something that you didn't regurgitate from the press.
Yep.
Just tell me what you think, and that's fine. You know, Tommy and Bill's Mafia and Big Papa. Yeah, all y'all came at me about Cook, and that's fine because you didn't tell me what they already tell me.
Exactly.
You told me what you thought, and I'm cool with it. I give Tommy a mess. I even go in his comments sometimes and say James Cook for no reason, just because. but you know, and the thing is, it's lighthearted because I know that they're thinking for themselves, and that's all I ask. When you watch the show, just think for yourself. I don't care what you say. I don't care if it sounds like something that they say on the radio. Everybody's not gonna have unique opinions. So we're all gonna sound like somebody, but just don't tell me because Beane said so. Because Jeremy White, Joe Marino. It was funny because on one of the other podcasts that I watched, I've talked about it before. And Talking Buffalo, the main host really likes Joe Marino. And on Sundays he has the guy I told you about that just like drinks beer and just surly and don't really care. And he called Joe Marino the pod father. He said, "That's your pod father, Marino, isn't it?" Because he doesn't. He said, "You just listen to anything he says and you just say it. Whatever he says." I'm
glad somebody stuck out and said that.
But it was just funny how he said it. He was like, if you watch an episode with this guy on there, you would probably laugh. You would laugh. You might get mad, but you really would laugh.
Okay.
The fact that he just keeps calling them out and they curse a lot. I mean, they're kind of like us, but they curse a whole lot more and they're more surly than we are.
Okay.
But it's insightful stuff, and I appreciate the show every day. But yes,
they go every day.
They go every day. Probably like 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Okay. I was about to say 2 hours every day.
No.
Sheesh.
And his is recorded, so you know there's no comment. So, but we still could do that. We talk a lot.
Yeah.
Nah.
I want to get to this comment here. Roy says, "Why would you trade your second best offensive weapon when you're trying to win a Super Bowl? Asking for a friend." Well, look, you do it because guys like James Cook are so replaceable. I mean, if he's just a running back and he's replaceable, trade him. Who cares?
Second best asset can't block though.
Exactly. He can't. Wait. He not only can he not block, he can't catch either.
Oh, he had what? 8 drops 2 years ago and 2 last year. Oh,
yep.
They're all not that many. He had 6 or he had 8 in the last 2 years and 8 touchdown drops. Oh, get rid of them.
Yep.
Gotta go.
Never mind the 16 touchdowns he scored. 16 total touchdowns.
Never mind that 4th and goal last year against the Chiefs. Never mind.
Never
mind those 80-yard runs. Never mind the 49ers game in the snow where he just took off on everybody and looked stupid. Never mind all that.
Nope.
Just get rid of him.
Right.
Just because.
Right.
He's not getting 15.
Second best offensive weapon on the team. Trade him.
Trade him. Get rid of him.
Because he's a running back. Who cares? Right?
Replaceable.
I mean, look, all we're saying, and obviously we're being sarcastic, and
only because Roy says I can do it.
If it was anybody else,
I wouldn't do that. Right, I wouldn't do that.
All right. So heel turn says, ask jeez,
KC.
Right. Ask KC why they did it. They made less sense, and it actually directly worked out the same year. Yeah. I get that. I do get that. I don't think that happens as often as you think, though.
I don't know about that because, well, not what you're saying, but I mean, who is Mahomes' favorite target?
Kelsey. Yeah,
it's always been Kelsey.
Right.
Who's his head coach?
Andy Reid.
You think Andy Reid's like, I can't figure out how to coach around Tyreek Hill?
No, not at all.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Of course he's replaceable. Everybody's replaceable there because Andy Reid, like, I can work with Rasheed Rice, I can work with Sky Moore, right. I can work with MVS that we couldn't. I can work with all these guys but that's the difference. You got to say KC, give me somebody else.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I was looking up some stuff on the Bills offense. Let's start here. Because it's going to start getting into the thick of the conversation now.
Well, before you do that, I wanted to piggyback off of. I had stuff based on your Ravens talk.
Sure.
Because you said a name and I was like, I want to jump in because I know this is going somewhere. Malachi Starks a long time ago said he wants Josh Allen. Not long ago. Last week.
He wanted to pick him off.
Yeah. He wants to pick him off.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, simmer down, rookie. What's the problem? Don't you want your guy to be like,
right.
I mean,
what if it's Maxwell Hairston saying I want to pick off
Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it like this. What did Ric Flair say? To beat a man, you gotta beat the man.
Right.
And the man is Josh Allen right now. He's MVP. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. See, the Bills ain't used to that. Buffalo's not used to our guy being that guy.
Yep.
They're not used to it. So, everybody's like, can you play a game first? We don't know if you're any good. Well, then I better not hear anybody talk about Hairston, Sanders, Walker, Hancock, Strong, Lunt,
Jackson,
Hawes, Jackson. None of them. Because guess what? They ain't played the game yet.
Right.
Why is it that our guys always look great in training camp and all this? We see all these highlights, but when somebody else says that I want that, you ain't even play yet. We don't know if you're good. Well, he's listed as a starter right now, so he's got a good shot at it week one.
Right.
Does Josh go back to 2024 Josh or 2023 Josh? Or does he stay as 2024 Josh, where he only had 7 interceptions or whatever it was? Is the ball gonna be up there? Is it gonna be floating? Is he gonna Malachi Starks is a problem, people.
Exactly. I was just getting there. It's
He's
like
a problem.
You can't even like Bills fandom isn't enough to put a player down.
Mm-hmm.
Like just because I love the Bills doesn't mean it's okay to just say another guy sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I think that's kind of what we've been on from day one is controlling this narrative that everybody else outside of Buffalo sucks.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a few drinks and you smoked a little bit and you just out there living your best life and you just want to be reckless and say whatever, okay, fine. Those days are okay here and there every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's your sober thought that everybody outside of Buffalo sucks, I don't know how objective you really are.
Can't do it.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to explain the logic behind everybody outside of Buffalo sucks, including Malachi Starks.
Yeah, they're all the generals.
Yeah. So, but look, the Ravens have $10 million in cap space right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills are at what, 5?
4 or 5, yeah.
4 or 5, somewhere around there. And I could probably point to about 10 Ravens players that I'd rather have than guys we have right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I'll even go a step further. I know people call me a Lamar Jackson fanboy, or whatever. But would you really have been mad if you never got Josh? You had to settle for Lamar. Would you be mad? I mean, at this point in time, it's like,
man, yeah. Well, so the thing is this. Even Lamar Jackson, you can look at his situation and say he wasn't really put in the best particular situation to succeed early on.
Right.
He didn't get a real offensive coordinator until 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And
once he got that guy, top offense in the league 2 years in a row. Last year was the best offense in a long time in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So look, the narrative around Lamar Jackson that he's not a great quarterback, I think we saw in the playoffs last year, here in Buffalo, the kid can play.
He can ball.
You know what I mean? And it really has not been, him per se, choking in the playoffs.
Right.
He had a turnover. He threw an interception. Okay. But at the same time, the narrative that was around Josh Allen early on, oh, he's terrible this, he's terrible that, we could see here in Buffalo, no, if you really watch him, he's better than you think.
You got to give him certain things. He's going,
And the accuracy thing is just mechanics. He fixed that in one offseason.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I like it goes both ways. If you're looking at the logic of everything and you're focused on being objective and not just a fanboy.
And the thing is, everybody talks about Lamar. He throws the ball and the guys are wide open. So Lamar Jackson's average yards of separation was 4.3 yards. You know what Josh Allen's was?
What?
3.6. 3.6.
That's not that far off.
That's the thing. It's not that far. Josh Allen was 11th best in the league, and it was 3.6. Lamar Jackson was number 1. Josh Allen was 12th in the league in tight window throws. Dak Prescott was number 1. I mean, it wasn't Lamar. It wasn't just layups all day. You know, and I mean, there's more. I looked at this thing here and I said, what are we talking about here with separation? We weren't the worst team in the league. With everybody, we can't separate. Only Keon Coleman couldn't separate. That's the only person on the team that couldn't separate last year. And that's not an indictment on him because we knew that already. He had like a 40% tight window completion percentage, which is pretty good. But we knew that already. So that's why I put on a tweet. I said, never mind. I put on a tweet. I said, where was I going with this? That Lamar, not Lamar, that Khalil Shakir is Batman and Keon Coleman is Robin. We need to find them an auxiliary piece. They're the future. Yeah. Those two are the future. You know, and the more I think about it, the more I really believe that Keon Coleman can be good. Maybe not in Buffalo if they don't figure out how to use him.
Yeah.
But Keon Coleman got talent. He's got something about him that you could use.
Well, here's what worries me about all this, and tell me what you think about this. You got Josh Palmer coming in, and you also got Elijah Moore. Both of those guys are 26 or younger, right? And Keon Coleman is much younger. I think he'll be 21 this year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's 21. He's 21 now.
Oh, so he's 21. Yep. Okay, so he'll be 22 then.
I believe he'll be 22
soon.
This year.
Okay,
not soon. I think it's the end of the year.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, he's one of those birthdays. All right, so you got a much younger Keon Coleman that's still kind of on I don't want to say back burner, but you got two veterans that are coming in that are getting paid more than what Keon Coleman is getting paid, and they've already performed in the NFL. They've got the game down. They got the all that kind of stuff, right? My worry in all this is, what if Josh Palmer and Elijah Moore come in and they're great with Josh Allen? Now what do you do? Because you got Elijah Moore for 1 year. You got Palmer for 3. You know what I'm saying? And then you still have to deal with, oh, by the way, Khalil Shakir's got to get the ball. So now you for the next 3 years, you got Palmer and Shakir. So now Keon Coleman is going to be your third receiver. And that's if you give him that starter spot, just give it to him, because frankly, right now, I don't think he fits more of what the Bills want to do than Elijah Moore does, unless you move him to the slot and let him play power slot.
Yep.
So my worry is that you went through this draft process and you drafted a guy in the quasi first round. You traded out, into the early second to get him, but you drafted a receiver that he's gonna have to work hard to get a spot. You know what I'm saying? And really keep consistent enough playing time to truly develop. For receivers, it's all about seeing and feeling and getting used to all of the different corner styles that you go against on a week by week basis. You have to see what the best do. You have to see what it feels like to play against the best. You have to see what some of the guys that aren't that great feel like it, when you're playing them and you have a great game. You got to, like, all of those ebbs and flows, everything that comes with that, getting that experience under your belt, you can only do by doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about this idea that, like, if Palmer and Moore are good and Shakir takes another step forward with the bag he just got, there may not be space for Coleman.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think that would be a true example of iron sharpens iron. The best of the best. If Videsh said about Samuel, I think Samuel, I don't think anybody's promised anything anymore.
Yeah.
In the wide receiver room especially, I don't think Samuel's going to be handed, the top 4 position at all. I think you're looking more at Samuel as a guy that's going to be on a team because his contract is too large to unload unless somebody really wants to trade for him. That's about the only thing you're going to do if you want to get out from under Samuel this year. But I think more so he'll turn and say, I don't think separation was the problem. It was the yards after catch compared to Baltimore. The yards after catch was ridiculous, and as much of that helped the Ravens, it hurt Lamar's MVP votes. Yeah, and the funny thing about it is Khalil Shakir had 800 yards and over 400 of those, almost 500 of those yards was yak yardage. So, more than half of his yards on the season were yak. He was the only one doing it. He was the only. I mean, yeah, Keon Coleman had a couple. People will say that Curtis Samuel was injured. Matt Collins lost a step. Well, he never had the step to lose, but he had reliable hands, whatever the case may be. But we didn't have that yak man. But the problem with that is that Josh Allen doesn't throw a yak ball. That's the problem,
right?
And that's not something that's play calling. That's because he throws the ball late. He doesn't throw it in anticipation where the wide receiver is going. He throws it to where they are.
Right.
That's why he throws the ball so hard. He's since taken some off of it, but he still doesn't throw it, out in front and give you really a good chance at running. Those broken down plays where
he does, but it's got to be like perfect timing.
That's the thing.
It's rare.
Yeah, he don't want perfect timing.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yo, stop playing with the fade. No.
My bad. I pressed
no, I'm just messing. It's fine.
Yeah.
It just messed me up. I was like, yo, just tell me you're gonna try something real quick.
My fault.
No, you good.
When
you
did
good.
this turn into the Hallmark Channel? What's going on?
I was cool. Actually, I was cool with it. I liked it, but I was like, what? Are we breaking?
No, I just hit the audio and it switches automatically.
Got you.
Okay, no big deal. Yeah, no, I think no, of course, Bledsoe would have been it. Mafia Sports Report says Bledsoe had a nice deep ball. Yeah.
How did we get to Bledsoe? Tommy, stop disrupting the conversation, bro.
Well, they had a whole James Cook conversation here. Yeah. I was like, nope, I'm not falling for it this time.
They going way off on a whole different topic in the chat.
Yeah, Alton trying to bring you back in because I like that comment, but I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to go there again.
No, go ahead.
Well, it's going to take me places.
Okay,
okay, I'll say what it is. Alton, I think he said this before, but imagine only getting 800 yards receiving and getting paid, yet Cook can't. Eyeball after face. Okay, we're gonna move on to something else because I don't want to.
Here they come.
Right,
yeah, but he can't block, though. He can't catch. He sucks. He's just a running back. Trade him. Nobody cares about running backs. You don't pay running backs.
But yeah,
however many ways we can say that.
Right. Yeah. No. That's the thing. And it's fine because it works for him. Josh Allen, he throws the ball, and that's where you would think they would have a lot of comebacks. They would have receivers that run those hitches and things like that. Those option routes, which Gabe Davis couldn't, Stephon Diggs could. That's the kind of ball that Josh Allen needs to have in his arsenal. But I don't know if Brady's going to put that in there this year. And his second 2.5 year, if you want to, second year of installation. Cook's a third down bet. Let's not pay him. Big Papa Bill. No, you're done.
Banned.
You're banned. Shadow banned. He's like, nope. You see, my name is Green. I'm here forever. I know. I got it. Speaking of which, if your name is Green in this chat and you're not in our Discord, what are you doing? What are you doing?
You know what? Here, I'm gonna put it in here one more again for y'all. The email for the Post Podium Podcast is Post Podium Podcast.
Waka. Mafia Sports. Tommy. Okay, I gotta stop saying Mafia Sports because I'm just reading it. But yeah, I think we need to put Coleman in the slot more. Absolutely, but they're afraid of moving Shakir out of the slot. They're afraid of moving him out of the slot where he can play out of the slot, but they don't want to do it. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're compromising Dalton Kincaid, which I'm fine with it. That's another competition you need to look at. Do we really need Dalton Kincaid to run that seam, or Keon Coleman? Can he do it? Yeah. Because Kincaid can't block. So put Coleman out there. I think that they at least have Coleman work the middle of the field, even if he's going to line up outside.
Trade him.
You're out of here, buddy. But no, I think Brady has to be more creative. Oh, I'm sorry, Tommy. I didn't even see you say that, but I was about to mirror that statement. Brady does need to be more creative. I think he has it. We don't have the ability to just throw deep balls all day long. So that's not going to be something that we're going to draft for. We're going to assign free agents for, or even game plan for. They want to work the middle, intermediate, except when they throw the ball deep to Kincaid, who hasn't caught a deep ball from Josh Allen all season.
Ever.
Really.
So I found this surprising, right? And I didn't even think to look this up. I might not have even had time when Beane was talking about they were second in points. And I love the way that he had to qualify by saying if you include the playoffs.
Somebody called him out. The last 8 games, somebody called that out. I forgot who it was. I know you're
I don't. Thank you for reminding me of that, because that is what had me interested in that, because I remember thinking that when I heard Beane say it, but I'm like, why do you need to include that if this offense is set? You know what I'm saying? If you have to include the playoffs to kind of boost your number. I think the Bills were, well, actually, you know what? I will tell you what they were ranked offensively for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, right? Because the last 5 years consists of a conference championship appearance, a divisional round exit, conference championship appearance, right? Now, in 2020, right, we were second in points, second in yards. Okay, second in points, second in yards. 2021, third in points, fifth in yards. 2022, second in points again, second in yards again, lost in the divisional round. 2023, sixth in points, fourth in yards. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. 2024, last year, second in points, first if you include the playoffs. Okay, 10th in yards, 10th in yards. What did we need on 4th and 5? Bro, that look. No. What did we need on 4th and 5? So look, this is why we have to be careful, and this is why we tell you all the time, be careful what you let into the ear hole, because once it gets in there and you start to believe that thing, eventually it's going to be what you say, and now you're kind of stuck with that thought process. Don't buy into this narrative that the Bills were great in points scored last year, when we scored 29 points in that game. The issue was not scoring points. The issue was getting yardage when we needed it to run out the clock and stay ahead. When we were ahead, we were ahead by what? More than a touchdown at one point, if I'm not mistaken, right? In order to run out the clock, you need to be able to continue to get what? Yards. And we were 10th. Not saying that's bad, but it wasn't second overall like in 2020, 5th overall like in 2021, second overall like in 2022, and 4th overall like in 2023, when they were throwing the ball downfield more, right? So again, all of this, I need people to understand, like, this is what the numbers are telling you. This is not, I can't make this up. I really can't make this up. So to me, that should put that whole conversation to bed about, well, the Bills, address their biggest need in defense. You know what their ranking defensively was? They were 16th in points, 14th in yards in 2020. In 2021, 13 seconds, they were first in points, first in yards, right? 2023, second in points. I'm sorry, 22, second in points, sixth in yards. 2023, fourth in points, ninth in yards. 2024, everybody thinks that the defense was terrible, right? Terrible defense. 11th in points, 17th in yards. They were only back half barely in the league. In yards, still top half of the league, just outside the top 10 in points. It was a fine defense. If the Chiefs can make a Super Bowl with the 26th ranked defense, and the Bengals can do it with the 22nd ranked defense, it should not be an excuse for a defensive guru. Period. There's no way around that. You have a defensive-minded head coach. You should be able to figure it out when you've got these numbers on your resume.
Mm-hmm. And you gotta ask yourself when you put those numbers out there. You put who was playing out there. It was relatively the same team that saw him in the regular season installation of the game. So what was different? As Papa said, our defense always lays an egg in the playoffs. But is it the defense? Are they missing plays, or are the play calls being changed? Is it that you're not adjusting from what you did in the first installation and during the season, and they've seen this movie already? Mm-hmm. They're saying, I know what they're going to do here. This is their tendency. This is what they always do. They always play that soft zone. We can attack that. We can tear that apart. Travis Kelce all day long. That's his thing. You let Travis Kelce run an option right over the middle. That's what he wants to do.
Yep.
And that's what he took away with Rasul Douglas. Was it this past season or the seasons past? I don't remember, but I know Rasul Douglas was used to basically jump on his back every time over the middle, and it gave him fits, and he didn't have a good game, and they lost. But you got to have somebody to do that. You got to have a Cole Bishop that was brought in to cover tight ends. You got to give a little to take a little,
right?
And it's like they don't want to take a little, or they don't want to give a little,
right?
They're too afraid. They think if they open the levee's going to break.
Yep. And
what we need them to understand you're going to make mistakes, but when you're making a mistake, there's an opportunity for you to make a big play as well.
Exactly. And look, as much as everybody harped on the turnovers from Josh Allen, they never lost us games. They never happened in the fourth quarter, and we just said, oh, there's the game. It's over now. They were usually earlier in the game, and people pointed to those things as, well, if we never threw those, then we still would have had a shot. Well, you can't say that. You can't say that. Saying that and believing in that is the same as you believing that the Bills are certainly going to win a Super Bowl under Sean McDermott, even though he hasn't proven it yet. It's the same exact thought process. You have no proof whatsoever to justify thinking, man, if we wouldn't have thrown that interception, we would have won that game. It's just as crazy as the basis of me saying it's crazy is the understanding that there is no foundational or fundamental evidence or statistical logical evidence that would suggest that these things could actually happen. There's nothing.
Yeah. It's
all hearsay. It's all imaginative information that you make up in order to make yourself feel better. Let's be real. That's why we're here, right? I'm not trying to tell everybody to not believe in a team. Mm-hmm. Please don't get that misconstrued. It's not what I'm saying. Love the Bills. Love when they win. Desire for them to win. That's where I'm at, right? But again, if somebody I know is doing something silly, I'm gonna ask them why they're doing something silly. Is there something wrong with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you see me, like, if let's say for instance, you come to the studio, mm-hmm. and I'm sitting outside, and I'm just sticking my finger in the dirt. I'm just twirling it around. I ain't doing. It looks like I'm doing nothing. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying I go and I tell you, Key, look, see this hole I'm making with my finger? This about to take the show to the next level, dog. This about to take the show to the next level, dog. Like, I'm super excited about this hole that I'm swirling around with my finger, right?
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was coming. I was gonna let it roll.
Anyway,
I was gonna let it rock, but
anyway,
look, I got my cameraman. You can see my reaction.
No, I'm actually glad it's messed up. So
whoa. Don't worry.
And no, you need to turn it back on. Either way, you got to keep it on.
Wait, why?
I'm not going to explain that live on the show. Just turn it back on. Jeez,
my bad.
All right. So
it's
yeah,
a semi-pause moment. It's not all the way pause.
There you go. That's fair.
No, it's pause.
You about to get muted in a second. So if I'm doing all of that and I'm telling you it's gonna make the show blow up, right? And then you come in here and you start thinking about what I said and you don't see the connection, right? You don't see the connection between, digging a hole with my finger and the show blowing up. What's the next step for you? Bro,
you'll get that checked out.
right,
like,
right.
What's wrong with you?
It might seem very silly of me to be out there doing something that looks like it has no connection whatsoever to the goal, which is we're here to do a show, right? I'm out there, fiddling around with the, making a hole in the dirt, and I come in late with a dirty finger, and I'm, messing up the controls and all that kind of stuff, and not making sense on the show. Like, is what I'm saying gonna match with what I'm doing?
No, yo, you good. You're outside just poking a hole in the ground. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Right.
I don't know what's wrong with you, man.
Right.
You gotta correct that.
So again, what we've been experiencing now for the last 5 years is there's a side of people, as you've said, that listen to what Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott say in the press conferences, and they say that is what it is. They get the paychecks for coaching and being a GM. We should believe what they say. More power to those people. But if you watching this show, you're a critical thinker, and you see me outside sticking my finger in the dirt and telling you that it's going to make the show blow up, I'm sorry, bro. You got to explain to me why.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I need to understand, because everything that you're showing me right now don't look like it's going to directly translate to what's going on.
No, and I'm very scared about it.
Bone said, Aramis open a bakery. I don't bake like that, bro. Dang. Speaking of that, hopefully I can get in contact with wow, I'm really late. Sarah Christine said, oh, there we go. I don't know who that's going to.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Okay, we're about to find out who the gift is going to. This should be very interesting. But yeah, so
to Sarah.
Sarah got it.
Sarah got it?
You got it. No problem. Hey.
All right. Yeah. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So again, Sarah.
Spin, you're not getting Discord. You're not.
Why? Why you getting Discord?
He knows why.
He knows what he's done.
He knows why.
Oh, dang. Kind of messed up, but I can understand. I can understand why you did that, Key.
I don't know. I don't know. Somebody said it's based on. I don't know what it's based on, honestly. But congratulations. No, that's all right, Sarah. You've been a contributor. We appreciate you very much.
No doubt. All right, so let's do this. Let's move off of that. Because I don't want people throwing tomatoes at us.
I didn't say anything bad. Well, I don't think. I'm still good, right, yo? I'm still good.
I mean, look, I don't think I said anything bad either. It's all very.
Oh, you did.
It's all truthful observations. I don't think it's deniable, but right.
Tommy, you getting ST.
Hey, listen, stay tuned for Ree's Tea, boys. Some stuff coming with that. I think y'all gonna be very, very excited with that. So just amazing. Trust me when I tell you some great stuff coming with that.
I gonna love it.
All right, so here's the deal. Let's go through the schedule. Everybody's kind of done schedule reactions. I actually just want to kind of breeze through these games and talk about the matchup and talk about how I think the game is gonna turn out. Right? I think we can get an initial way too early record going. No.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I've already pulled up the Ravens depth chart, Jets depth chart, and we'll just kind of do an overview of their starting players. And yeah, I'm sure you'll know a lot of these names already because these are guys that you watched in college. You know what I'm saying? And you can kind of give us an idea for
who do we face.
We're gonna go through that in a second. Okay. We're gonna go through the whole entire schedule. Right. So if you guys have questions on these matchups, if you guys have thoughts on these matchups, please do not hesitate to put it in the chat. We will stop what we're doing to address that because this is a big conversation. This is the season we're talking about. Before we start this though, I do want to talk about this really quick. The initial thought after seeing the schedule and how it played out for the Buffalo Bills, which by the way, they have the second least amount of miles traveled in this schedule in the league, only ahead of Cincinnati. Only ahead of Cincinnati. Right. And so looking at that, it's like, man, you ain't got to go that far. You only go out of the Eastern time zone one time, and that's to Houston. And then on top of that, it looks like all the hard games that might be challenging are at home. You know what I'm saying? So this was my initial thought when I saw this. This is my reaction. There should be no excuse after this season that people use to excuse not having made it to a championship. And I know that sounds jaded. But hear me out. When you think of every other advantage that the Bills could have had going into the playoffs, having the number one defense, we had it, right? Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna go back and look. I think we had it twice. No, we only had it once. So,
well, how far are you talking about under McDermott?
Yeah, in 2021, we had the number one defense in points and yards. So having the number one defense, had it. Having a home playoff game against the Chiefs, had it. The only thing left that there has been this whole entire time is that number one seed, right? This schedule should give you the number one seed. No doubt about it. If you look at the Chiefs' schedule, their schedule's hard. They got a gauntlet at the beginning of the season, on top of all the miles that they have to travel, right? You worried about that team? The Bengals, they don't even communicate with their best defensive player. Their defense, they gutted it. It's all young players now, and the new defensive coordinator. So I doubt that defense is going to be better than it was because they're in a rebuilding process. So what you worry about is getting into a shootout with those guys, realistically, when you play them. The Eagles game, way at the end of the season. Eagles might not even need it. We might not even need it. The way the schedule looks, we could have the number one seed locked up by the week before the Eagles game.
I like how that sounds.
I love how that sounds. Right? But again, keep in mind, with all of this expectation comes the pressure of not fulfilling what we expect.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't really get into the schedule stuff, because I look back on whatever year it was where we played the Falcons after they went to the Super Bowl. We played the Broncos, and then it was another team too. And we beat them all.
Right.
So it's a name. You
Rams.
You get excited about a name. You get excited about a team or a player or a scenario that happened the year before. Or years in past, but this is any given Sunday, as they said it.
Yeah.
So I look at it that way. I have a hard time, worrying about, what time they play, who they play, where they play, when they play. Obviously international is kind of tough because I lost my mind last year when they didn't go until the last minute to London. But for me, every one of these games is, my friend asked me, he's like, give me your prediction now. I'll tell you what I told him. I said 12 and 5 without looking at the schedule. I didn't even look at the schedule. I said 12 and 5. And, he was like, all right, who are we losing to? I said, dude, I don't know. This isn't college where UB's playing against Ohio State and then they're going to, Nebraska. Those are 2 L's. But then you got the Division III school that UB's got to play against. That's a win unless nobody plays. So it's just, it's not far enough of a disparity, and I'm not a good bettor. If we had Mac here, Mac be like, oh yeah, this is going to happen because that's going to happen. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell any of this means. But yeah, people get into it. I really had anxiety. I told some people, I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna pull this show off because I don't know enough about NFL teams the way you do and the fans in the chat do. So I'll do the best I can.
Well, I'm gonna help you out here, and I'm gonna also help out. Who said that? Who said so? Spin said Baltimore has a winnable schedule as well, bruh. I don't know what you're looking at. I really do not. They got us week 1. They got the Lions week 3. They got the Chiefs week 4. Then they got the Texans in that receiving core with the guys they just drafted in week 5. Week 6 they got the Rams coming to town. They got the Bears coming to town right after that with Ben Johnson as their offensive their head coach rather, and that offense, and their defense is not bad either. I think they had a top tier defense last year, so that's a good team. And with the right leadership on offense, the right offensive system that fits what that quarterback likes to do, look out, man. That Bears team is not going to be nothing to play with this year. I think.
And Zoomer, welcome. Thank you. New member alert.
Hey,
Zoomer.
Thank you, Zoomer. Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, well, send us your was the email?
Yeah, I'll post it again. I'll post it again in a few minutes.
Just copy and paste it, bro.
Copy and paste.
Just want to just copy it.
I know. I might go in and just pin it to the top.
Yeah,
I can do that. But yeah, so then after the Bears game, 2 weeks later, they got the Vikings in Minnesota. That's not an easy game, right? So you fast forward a little bit. After that, they still have 2 games against the Bengals. They still have 2 games against the Steelers. And then they got a game against the Packers December 27th, which would be week 17. So it's not an easy schedule by any stretch. And if you look at the trend of the Ravens, they usually need those games towards the end of the season. They do well at the beginning. They struggle somewhere in the middle. They find themselves, and then they still got those games towards the end of the season that they have to win those games. On top of the trend that they've had the last 2 years, at least, of splitting with their division. You know what I'm saying? I think last year the only team that they swept was the Browns, if I'm not mistaken. They might have even lost a game against the Browns last year, but I know they split with Cincy and with Steelers.
Let's see, yeah, the Browns, they lost to the Browns in week 8.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So they split with every team in their division. So the AFC North is a monster, right? And if they get any kind of level of quarterback play in Cleveland, that defense with Mason Graham and Myles Garrett, I'm sorry, it is a problem on defense for Cleveland. They might be number 1 again this year on defense. So yeah, I don't believe for 1 second that the Ravens schedule is winnable from the standpoint of, they should win 13 games. This is a tough schedule. And I'm not even sure that they did enough on offense to be able to score in the same way that they scored last year. Teams are going to adjust to that. It's not going to be the same. If they make the same mistake that I think the Bills may be making, where they just expect to play the same style of offense with similar players and run a similar scheme as last year with no major changes to it, it could be a problem. It could be a problem. What I think works greatly in the Bills' favor this year is the quarterbacks that they play against. To me, that's the biggest thing of all of this, right? When you look at just the quarterbacks in our division. That's 6 wins. So the Bills are starting off the season with 6 wins. As much as I like Mike Vrabel and what the Patriots have done, I don't think they're there yet. Not unless we just give the Jets that game at the end of the season, which I don't ever want to do stuff like that. I hate doing stuff like that. But you take those 6 wins, you still got to play against the Panthers quarterback. What was Bryce Young? You still, okay, Bryce Young, fine, cool. I'll take that.
He got my boy though.
Hey,
he got my boy. People in that chat, they know.
Lauren, tell him how much you let that boy. Man.
I lie all about that. You know what I'm saying? To get that code on. I don't know. I don't lie, but that might, bro.
He sounds just like him too. It's like like Black Bumhauer from
That's what he is. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's interesting. Let's see. Alton says, interesting fact. Every time the Bills have a 13-win season, they follow it up with 11-6 season. I'm not saying they'll finish 11-6, but that's wild to think about.
It is.
That's crazy.
Very much so. But that again, that tells you usually teams adjust to what you did the year before.
Yeah, and that's why we're worried about the everybody eats thing. That's why I'm really worried about it.
Yep. So hopefully they don't go with that, right? But when you're talking about quarterbacks, who the Saints? Who's your quarterback, dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? The Falcons. We know Michael Penix can play, but second-year quarterback, usually the sophomore slump hits those quarterbacks pretty hard, right? Even with CJ Stroud, we saw it. The production wasn't there. He still played well,
right?
But the production wasn't there like it was in his rookie season. So you go against the Michael Penix, you're going against whoever the Steelers feel like putting out there, even if it's Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. At this stage, I don't think it's going to be enough with only being able to throw to DK Metcalf and who's the other guy they got? The speed guy. I forget his name.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's something the third. I forget it's like something Austin. Calvin Austin. Is it Calvin Austin the third?
It
might be.
Austin. Yep, Calvin.
Sarah, I am too. I'm very excited for you to have a membership. I'm very excited. Like I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and put this in the chat now.
Wait, something's happening. Something's happening. I don't know what's going on.
What's going on? Oh,
I don't know.
You just clicked off of.
No, I'm not touching that mic.
No, you good.
I'm touching something else. I don't know what's going on.
Don't touch other stuff.
I shouldn't.
Oh, I didn't even go in there. All right, here we go. And wait, no. Well, you messed it up. It's all messed up.
I ain't touched nothing.
What'd you do?
Yeah, you got 2 O's in the I.
Poodcast? Post podium Poodcast? That'll work.
Some people might agree.
All right, Sarah, use that email me, or you can go to our social media and hop in there and direct message us, and we will send you the Discord link.
Yes.
So look, whoever the Browns are going to put out, you know what I'm saying? So count our 6 wins, and then Falcons win, Panthers win, Browns win, Steelers win. That's 4. That's 10 games right off the bat of games that we're going to be heavily favored in, right? So, I when I look at this schedule, it's like, if matter of fact, did you hear Deion Dawkins on the podcast say he expects the Bills to go? I think he said 15-2. 15-2.
Of course he does.
But when he said it, when you look at the schedule, it's like, how can you not see 15-2? Like, realistically, the teams that I think we'll struggle with, Ravens, and after that, probably if not the Texans, then the Bengals. I think we'll split one of those. We'll either beat the Texans or we'll beat the Bengals. I'm not sure we'll beat both. That Eagles game, I am highly anticipating us not even needing at that point. To be perfectly honest, it could really realistically be a situation where the Bills get to week 16 and we don't need the last 2 games. We just throw them away. Send Josh out there, let him play for a half, and then rest him.
Yeah, I think Roy said, what does KC's schedule look like? I think KC
they have the 6th hardest.
I was gonna say they got a higher schedule, but they got a nice little defense they built. They had a great draft. So I don't know. I mean, see, that's
so there's we know because y'all was crashing out when it happened.
Yeah.
All right. So their schedule is they start off with the Eagles. Right.
That's up to A.
You know what I'm saying? They start off with the Eagles, week 2's Giants, then they got the Ravens week 3.
Oh, wait, no. Are you sure? Because I'm seeing Eagles week 2. I'm seeing Chargers week 1.
Oh, why did they do that? So they're only listing 1 preseason game right now.
Yeah, you were right. Except you were right. You just got to add the Chargers week 1. Everything else fits in.
I'm sorry. And look, week 1 Chargers is a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've made a lot of improvements. They got another receiver in there.
Divisional.
So exactly. So you're starting off against the Chargers. Week 2, you got the Eagles. You got kind of a gimme game, depending on how the quarterback situation works out there in New York. For week 3, against the Giants. I'm sorry. And then week 4, you got Ravens.
Wait, Mike, are you a KC fan? You said this is still Kansas City's conference until they tell you it's not. Or on the scoreboard in January. Plain and simple, no debate. Okay, now this is one thing you got to do.
You got to subscribe.
If you're going to put stuff like that, you got to go down here and subscribe.
There you go.
You got to subscribe first. You can slander all the way.
That's right.
You can't. It's in the YouTube bylaws. I read it somewhere. You can't slander your podcasters unless you subscribe to said show. I don't make the rules. I just follow them.
There you go. Copy and paste, Mike G. There you go. All right. So week 4, Ravens are in KC. Then KC goes to Jacksonville. They play the Jaguars. That's kind of another gimme game. It should be. Then they got the Lions after that.
Ooh. What is going on?
Junie already knows. Junie already knows.
They gonna get spanked. They gonna get spanked. The Lions were our problem last year. Listen, I don't watch football, but man. Them Lions was it last year, man. Keep going. What's next? Keep
I
going.
love the commentary. I'm just loving the spontaneous
He picked up what I put down.
commentary.
He got it.
So then after the Lions, they got the Raiders, another divisional game. Always a tough game. Raiders played them tough last year, twice. Okay. Then after the Raiders game, they got the Commanders, who were just in the NFC Championship game, right? Or I'm sorry, no. They lost in the divisional round to the Eagles. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, it took the Eagles to knock them out. If they had gone against somebody else, that Commanders team was good. They were good, and they're even better this year, right? So Chiefs got their handful there. Right after that game, they got to come see us. Okay? Here in Buffalo, they're coming to see us, 425.
It was a conference championship.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
conference championship.
we
thought they were going.
Right. They were one step away from being in the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs got to battle that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So then they come here. Then they got to go to Denver and play the Broncos. The Broncos should have beat them at least once last year. At least once. The Broncos are a great young defense, and they played the Chiefs as well as you could possibly play. In fact, the Houston Texans took a lot out of Denver Broncos playbook on defense in the divisional round when they played them. So what the Broncos have shown in terms of how to stop the Chiefs and how to guard the Chiefs, they know how to get it done. Right? So that is going to be a tough game.
Oh, you got paused.
What?
Junie got paused.
Junie got paused?
Billy D paused Junie.
I got to mute him now. Oh, put the camera back on you. It's better when we see you, but we can't hear you. That we can't hear you. We can't hear you. I could change the camera angle too. I could change it too. That's fine. I could change it right back. That's fine. You. Oh! What you doing? What you doing?
This is what I'm gonna say. What was the pause right there?
I might have caught it late.
Ask him right now. What was the pause moment right there?
Oh, snap, Sarah. Jeez, thank you.
What was the pause?
Holy cow.
Wow.
What was the pause?
Wow.
Explain yourself.
Yo, Spin really
what
can't get
pause?
in. I don't.
What was the pause?
Spin, I'm gonna try it one more time.
No.
I mean, Spin, look, it's $1.99, bro. You can just hit the button, man. That's all you gotta do.
No.
If you want to get you, that's all you gotta do, bro.
Who put a pause on me?
What did you say? I just want to know what you said.
No, that's what I'm trying to figure. Who said the pause?
Right.
I think
I
it's
wrote it right there, right now.
Renaissance is like, fam is like, what did I do?
Yo, nobody pauses me.
Judy,
Nobody pauses me.
Now there's a divide between him and the people.
Paused. I'm unpausable.
Right.
What did I say was pause?
Zenke said it's the ad libs.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's what I thought, but
Yeah.
I was like, maybe not. I don't know.
No, all right. So let's get through this Chiefs schedule. So all right. So they got, in my mind, should be an easy game against the Colts. They got the Cowboys. Meh. That could be good or bad. It's in Dallas, so maybe it's a 4:30 p.m. game. Then they got the Texans coming to town. That should be a tough game. Chargers again, tough game. Easy game against the Titans after that. Then they got the Broncos coming back to town, and they finish off with the Raiders at home.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm sorry, they finish off in Vegas.
Wait a minute. There might have been a mention of spanking cheeks somewhere.
Oh, that's right. He did say, yeah. He did say.
Yep.
Who did he say? He said the Lions gonna spank them.
Yeah, he said he's spanking cheeks. It's paused.
There you go.
You got paused.
Thank you, Alton. You said you're gonna DM us.
Yes, sir.
I said spanking cheeks.
There you go. The Renaissance got you.
spanking cheeks.
Look.
I said belt to butt. Belt to A. Belt to butt. That's what we say.
Belt to A.
Belt to butt. When did I say belt?
You had a beer on the show. You're allowed to say the A word. It's fine.
Renaissance says, "Damn, it's a tough crowd when we're pausing ad libs."
I know,
now.
right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, look, Junie, you can't get mad. This is the culture you created, man.
Nah, I want to hear it. And I'm going to address it.
I enjoy this part. I enjoy this part, actually.
I'm going to put it in the comments right now. Go ahead. Do your point.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So look, let's get through the schedule. I mean, did you have any thoughts on the Sean McDermott point? In terms of the pressure, I think if he doesn't get it done this year, Come on, first overall seed, a bye week in the playoffs, and you are going to play the easiest team no matter what in both of the playoff games that you have to play, including the AFC Championship game.
I think it's the same team over again.
Think so?
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be the same. I don't care what I don't care. The Chiefs are number 1, number 2, number 7. It's gonna always be the two that are married. They're star-crossed lovers at this point. They are soulmates. The Bills and the Chiefs. At some point in the playoffs are soulmates. Hopefully we start to tip the scale in our favor. But I mean, we've seen this movie a million times, and I'm tired of it.
Right. I'll just say, yeah, you do. Now Junie hopping in the chat. He is tight. Yo, whoever paused Junie, don't do that anymore, please. This man is about to burst. Right. Like, dang, he hopping into the chat now. He's like, hold on, let me get up in here. What y'all doing?
Right.
What y'all doing right now, man?
You gonna open up a glass when I don't have no open to it.
Yeah. All right. So let's go through the schedule real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens, right? You don't need to look at the depth chart, do you?
No.
Okay, so Ravens. I think the Bills are gonna win that. It's at home, first game of the season. I think that's a win for the Bills.
It's funny you say that because there's somebody that says different.
There's somebody that says different?
Yeah, Roquan Smith.
He
said he's eager to face the Bills in week 1 because revenge is best served as a cold dish. 2 things with that.
It's going to be like 68 degrees.
Well, one thing is revenge is a dish served cold. That's one thing.
Okay.
2, you're right, because guess what? The irony of what he said is full. Think about it. When do we beat them? I was there when we beat them. In the cold. After what?
After losing
After
to
they
them in week
spanked
4.
us.
That's right.
Didn't say anything about cheeks. They just spanked us. No pause. Billy D laughing. Billy D cracking up. But I mean, the thing is, watch what you say though, because revenge, we got revenge in the cold. Let's move on.
Laura covering herself, Judy. It wasn't me.
I ain't do it.
Oh no, it wasn't Laura.
Yeah.
No.
Billy D said Vegas has us winning every game this season. Seriously, you have to convince me of a loss. And it's got to be an unintentional loss, because realistically, the Ravens coming here week 1, that atmosphere is going to be too much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it was too much in the first half in the playoffs.
I would, you know what? I want to see Mark Andrews. I want to see what his body language is like when they play here. The last play of his 2024 season was that, and then he has to come right back to the place.
I'm gonna tell you right now what's gonna happen. It's gonna be ruckus in that stadium. It's going to be louder than it's ever been before, like literally ever before, right? Because now this is a revenge game for all the trash talking. Like this is to set the record straight, because there's a lot of people that were saying after the playoff game, oh, y'all got lucky if Mark Andrews didn't, blah, blah, blah. If the Bills want to prove it, this is the day to prove it in front of everybody on Sunday night, week 1. This game is going to be so live. It's going to be insane, right? So you put that Ravens offense on the field with all of that noise, and they don't get a first down that first series, say goodnight. Say goodnight. I'm not saying it's not going to be a tough game, but let the Bills get a touchdown lead on them boys. Say goodnight.
I like your energy.
I mean what I say. I'm telling you right now, the Bills during the regular season, early on, they usually catch a team like this completely unprepared. Completely unprepared. They did it to the Rams. They did it to the Steelers when the Steelers were that might have been what? Roethlisberger's last year when we spanked them here?
Probably.
But we do it to good teams all the time early in the season. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially on a Sunday night, Bills ain't last year of the stadium. We ain't letting that fall with our first loss coming in week 1 on Sunday night. That ain't happening. Right. So I can't see that game being a loss for all the reasons. I cannot see that game being a loss. Is that the most likely of all these games? Yeah. Because after that, you go to the Jets, win, Dolphins at home, win, Saints at home, win, Patriots at home, win, Bills at Falcons. Win. Where's the loss? Where's the loss? Falcons win, Panthers win, Chiefs at home. Here, we always beat them in the regular season. That might be the only thing. If you're really trying to play this superstitious thing, you would want to lose to them during the regular season, just to make sure that all the stars are lining up in the same way that they did against the Ravens for you now against the Chiefs in the playoffs. Because you lost to the Ravens and then you ended up beating them in the playoffs. And the Chiefs do this to us every single season. We beat them in the regular season, they beat us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you just want to give it to them for that. But again, last year of us being in this stadium, this might be some of the most inspired and uplifting effort that we see from this football team of any of the last 5 seasons. There's more on the line. This year is about legacy. That's part of the reason why I strongly believe there's a lot more pressure on this season than there would have been any of the last 5 seasons put together. Whatever you do this season is the legacy of the stadium, period. How did you leave it? Oh, well, we left it, we left it 13-4 with the divisional round exit. Nah, that ain't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't good enough. If it ain't at least an AFC championship game here, I don't want it.
I need to get to the Yams.
Why? What's going on?
I gotta get to the Yams.
Oh, you gotta get
the
the
Yams.
Yams.
The Super Bowl.
I thought you said you gotta get to the DMs. I'm like,
nah,
what?
the Super. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you
no,
gotta
I
get the
didn't mean
Yams,
that at
bro.
all. Yeah,
That's
I gotta
right.
get to the Yams because I need that Super Bowl. I'm tired of playing on my food. I'm tired of playing on my food.
Yeah. This is another reason I agree, Cato. This is why we should have gotten a young wide receiver. And when I'm pretty sure what Cato means is we should have drafted a guy higher than we did.
You say you take Golden over Cook.
Well, Golden went in the second round, right?
No, he was first.
He was first round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would trade. Would I trade up for Golden? Well, here's the thing with Golden. He wouldn't play in this offense. Or if he did play, he would play the Khalil Shakir role.
Yeah.
Slot receiver. He would play that Curtis Samuel role. They always see the slender, smaller receivers as gadget guys.
I mean, that's his natural role anyway. A slot. He was supposed to be a slot going out of college. So that's where he's gonna be when he plays Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's cool. That's cool. But right, Dorothy. She says you need to win as much as possible for seeding. Exactly. But I mean, I think this schedule provides that opportunity easier than any other time that I remember in the last 9 years. So, look, when you look at that legacy and you look at what I think should be a conference championship game here, if you get all of that, and this is going on to Sean McDermott's legacy now, which is why I titled this thumbnail, Sean's dilemma, because the dilemma is if you push for number 1 seed, if you push for AFC championship game here, if you push your team for all of that stuff and you don't get it done, you have now had every single advantage you could possibly have in the playoffs and not gotten it done. Right? And when you incorporate into that the real issue of the team not actually being defense, right? Because we covered all that, right? We went through the defensive numbers. All of the divisional round exits were our best defensive years. The worst defensive years were the 2 times that we made the AFC championship game. So how much does defense matter really? I mean, we say defense was the problem. The issue wasn't defense. The issue was yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yards.
And when they come. That's
exactly.
The when they come. That's the piece, because you got to have context of where the points were. I mean, you didn't hear Beane say, we were number one. We averaged over 30 points a game, but we put up 44 or 42 or more in 2 games in a row. That helps dramatically. You didn't put in there that your offense is scoring 30 points, which your defense is giving up 28 or whatever the case may
Right.
be. That's all context that he left out when he got mad at Jeremy White and Joe DiBiase.
Mhm.
They could have fired back with that, but once again, like I said on a previous show, they got to feed their family, so they couldn't checkmate him. They had to let him talk. So he didn't sun them. They just shut up. But on this show, you could say, we could talk objectively all you want, and realistically, Beane can't tell us that we're wrong because it's true.
Right. You can't deny the numbers. As much as you want to try to spin it, there's no way to. If you have to qualify any point you make, how definitive or how real is the point really? If I have to say to you, we were number 1 in points last year, and I can say that by itself, that's different from me saying we were number 1 in points last year when you include the playoffs.
Right. I mean, my follow-up been like, okay, you're number 1 in points, but how many touchdowns from James Cook?
Yeah.
How many touchdowns from Josh Allen? How many field goals from Tyler Bass?
How many touchdowns did the receivers have? I know Hollins had 6, and that was the most.
That was the most.
Can you pull up all
pull
up all the receiver touchdowns just to, because we're talking about Josh Allen and James Cook being the primary touchdown getters on offense, and we're just acting like Ray Davis and Ty Johnson are going to be able to repeat that with no problem.
Yeah. Okay. So points per game. Let's do it like that. It's interesting this way. Tyler Bass was a leader in points per game at 7.7. James Cook 6.8. Josh Allen 4.6. Ray Davis 2.1. Mac Hollins 1.8. Keon Coleman 2 points. Tyrell Shavers 2 points. And to your point about touchdowns, let me go up a little further. Receiving touchdowns, you have Mac Hollins with 5, Khalil Shakir with 4, Keon Coleman with 4, Ray Date. Well, no, that's Amari Cooper with 2, Curtis Samuel with 1, Shavers with 1. That's it. So we're talking about sacks again.
Oh, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. It does sound like sacks.
You got the MVP quarterback, and everybody is like, you got to get him more weapons, but he doesn't need more weapons. Which is it?
Right.
You're saying both. We need more wide receivers. Okay, then get on that train. Or if you're good with the wide receivers, then stay on this train. Yep. That's all I'm asking. So when we're talking about points, like I said, Tyler Bass 7.7, James Cook 6.8. That's what, 15, almost 15 points right there. Yep. That's half of your 30 per game.
Exactly. That's it. Comes from your kicker and your running back. Half your points.
Half of your points per game.
That's crazy, bro.
Yep.
That's crazy. You know what? Do this. Can you look up the same stats for the Ravens? Because Ravens had the best offense in the league last year, and them, and then also pull up the Bengals.
Okay. So the Ravens, 2024, scoring. Justin Tucker, 7.6. Oh, so they're about the same. 7.6 for Tucker. Henry 6.4. Wait a minute. Henry 6.4.
That's what I wanted to get to. For those of you sitting there saying that Derrick Henry is that much better than James Cook, same level of production in terms of percentage of points scored for the team. We could just stop there. But good night, folks. We could just stop there. Like that ends the conversation for whether or not James Cook should be paid. What's the difference?
Like, and it wasn't even me that made the point. It was him. It wasn't even me.
This is what happens when you think critically and you look below the surface and you start digging and digging and digging. This is the truth that comes out. We just revealed all of that to y'all. How is it arguable from here on? How is the debate arguable when you're saying that Derrick Henry is so much better than James Cook when they have what's the difference?
Saquon Barkley 6.
Now do you see why James Cook is asking for 15? He's contributing the same, almost the same, if not. What's the difference between the three? James Cook is what, 6.4, you said?
6.8.
6.8. And then Henry was what? 6. Was he 6.4?
4.
So James Cook is ahead of Henry. And what's Barkley?
6.
6 flat?
Yep.
So Cook is ahead of Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry in terms of his contributions to his team.
I'm going to address this. So it's hard to believe that we're Bills fans. Do you like anything about the team? Have you watched the show?
Yeah, you gotta watch us.
Have you watched the show? Because if you haven't watched the show, then one, we explain why we're so passionate the way we are.
Yeah.
2, we say we built this show because we don't want to sound like everybody else. We want to give other people a forum to talk.
No doubt.
3, watch the show because we said a lot of good things, and I was actually hyped about the show until this point. And
I mean, we just sat here and said the Bills are going to go at least 15-2.
But that's negative somehow.
Right. I don't get that.
You know what? I'm about to stop being so nice. I'm gonna stop.
When are you ever nice?
You
on
gotta
camera.
You got to see him in the comments. He'd be so nice in the comments. Oh my gosh, I'd be like, dude, if you don't just be real,
I'm gonna stop.
Like, Key, you're the realest dude I know, man. Just be real,
for
man.
sure, for sure.
Say it with your chest.
I'm gonna try. And this is the thing, spin.
Bully, what are we doing? Did you see?
Okay,
react to this one first, though. How many carries though?
I was gonna say that. That's what I was gonna say. Spin. And I didn't even see Bully wrote that. How many carries though? How many carries did he have in his career? Barkley. I mean, you're talking about teams that don't have MVPs this year. You're talking about what did Jalen Hurts win? He won a Super Bowl on the back of Saquon Barkley and an all-star cast of wide receivers.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, he won a MVP. Yeah, he deserved it somewhat because he was 13-4, right? Or was it 13-4?
No, they were 14-3.
14-3.
Yeah.
That's what got him MVP.
Yeah.
Josh Allen got MVP, and James Cook is the second banana. Unquestioned second banana.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson had all these other guys, and who do we have? Khalil Shakir. Love you to death, but I want more.
Yeah.
And they have more. We don't. We're good. See, the thing is, we're good with it because, and that's my major problem with this thing. Everybody says Josh Allen's MVP because he can put the world on his shoulders. Why do you need him to? Why do you want him to? Why do you care that he's MVP? Because the more MVPs he wins, the more he's going to have to do. The less talent he's going to get around him because he can do it himself. That's like the overachiever at work. They do all the work. So what they do, they say, you don't need 3 people there. You know, when you're working a call center, the average speed of answer doesn't have to be 30 seconds. It can be 25 because they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about you. They don't care how hard you're actually working with your sacrifice and make it work. They just know it's working. So why fix it?
Right. Sarah dropping the mic over here. She said, pay Cook. And then she says, especially since you're going to spend $20 million on 2 defensive line free agents that won't even play a third of the season.
Can I talk about that real fast? It's not rhetorical, but I really don't understand why people are making a big deal out of Hoyt and Ogunjobi being hurt for the Ravens game because they played against the Ravens twice before or whatever. Ogunjobi has experience in the division. I don't care. Ogunjobi wasn't good. He wasn't good. So what do I care? How do you know TJ Sanders ain't better than Ogunjobi? How you know Deion Walker ain't better than Ogunjobi?
Yep.
How you know Ed Oliver is not? How you know Daquan Jones isn't going to come back? We don't know.
Right.
It's a crapshoot.
Right. Mike G says, I actually think Mike G might be a Chiefs fan.
I know he is, but that's what I'm saying. Subscribe. Come on back.
Yeah. Look, you might like this show, man. I mean, if you think we're, you obviously see other people saying we bang on the Bills a lot. So join us. But he says, hang the banner for the defending offseason champion Buffalo Bills. Might not want to put it in the practice facility this time, though. Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day, too. And I know we got to get out of here. 7:25. So we got 5 minutes before you have to burn the city down getting to work. But realistically, I think it is very interesting that the Buffalo Bills last year did take down the trophy banner in terms of what their focus was, right? I think the question from there becomes, do they put it back up since they were just in the AFC Championship game? You know what I'm saying? It's like the year you take it down to shift the focus so that, everybody can't put all this pressure on you. Well, you got the banner of the championship trophy in your field house. That should be the goal, right? That should be the goal. And then they took it down just so that they could tell everybody, shut up about all of the AFC, the championship stuff. We're in a retooling year or whatever they said to try and avoid saying rebuilding year.
Yep.
And with however it turned out, they are now back in the same position where everybody outside the building and hopefully everybody inside the building is like, We got to go win a championship.
Right.
Is that banner going to go back up? Laura,
we can't. Laura, you know we can't win.
Laura is our conscience on this on this show and in real life too. But she said I thought this show was extremely upbeat. I did too. This just goes to show you can't make everybody happy.
You can't. And you know what? I will say, I'm starting to get the vibes of two co-hosts on GR Network.
Yeah, getting beat up on by Brandon Beane.
No, not those two. The other ones.
The evening boys.
Yeah.
That's
going to Jekyll and Hyde.
I'm with it. Yeah. You know what? You're right. Because I haven't listened to them in a while.
Yeah.
But I have noticed they tend to get a little fed up a little earlier than most people. It's like, come on, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's like, you try. 15-0, Josh Hunt's great. James Cook should be paid. You guys suck. Well, how?
Yep.
What are we doing? I mean, how? Explain. No, don't explain. I don't care. But if that's how you feel, you just wasted almost an hour and a half of your time, and I'm not giving it back. I hope you got gifted one of those 10 memberships because you can put yourself in the Discord, and then we'll talk about it further.
There you go.
Yeah, and I hope my mom didn't get one because I had to pay. I had to refund that one.
Hey, listen, I need one person, just one. I just need one person to go and follow us on follow our Facebook page. We're at 99 followers right now. We need one more, and then we can start streaming on Facebook. That would be extremely helpful if we could just get one person of the 1,075 people that we have.
But so you know what's criminal about this?
What?
1,075 people watching this right now.
Yeah,
they follow on X. They think they're doing everything. Go down there.
Yeah, you
go to Post Podium
channel. That's right.
Because we got a lot of viewers. That means you guys like us. Somebody, or you guys like to hate us. Don't care. Go to our page. Hit that little bell. Hit the little subscribe banner. Let us know. We can interface even further on there. So use it. Yes, that is who I'm talking about, Laura. And I will become the other one though.
Don't have. Oh, that's okay if you don't have it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it.
You literally only need one. It's fine.
Yep, just one. We just need one.
Yeah.
Roy said it's time for one of the most disgusting drinks around. Hey, listen, if you tried it, you would like it, bro. I know you said
the disgusting drink.
It's Roy.
Yeah, he don't drink tea though. That's why he say that, because he's not a tea drinker.
And Roy don't be listening to my promo because I say I don't drink tea either. But that's a good drink there.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, you know what? I think I should say everything just so we can refresh ourselves.
Yeah, come on.
We got to refresh ourselves because
I kind of need it too, man.
You do need it? Okay.
Yeah, I need it.
Because Reed's tea is what we're talking about, folks. What are we doing? Reed's tea, 1 part refreshing, 1 part delicious, 2 parts healthy. That's what you can expect when there's only 4 ingredients. I don't even drink tea, Roy. But guess what? That's a good drink there. What you doing? Head over to Reed's tea. Get yourself a supply by the individual or the case. Don't waste your time getting individuals. Case it up. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. What do I know, though? See for yourself. Reed's tea. Click on the link in the description below. Use the code PostPodiumPodcast to let them know who sent you.
Right. Oh, thank you. They got us to 103. So our Facebook is the Post Podium Podcast.
Absolutely.
Standard spelling.
Now get out. You know what? I'm on a mission of 1,000 subs on YouTube. That's what I'm on a mission for.
We need that.
We got 1,072 and 1,074 in the group right now. Go over to our YouTube page. What's gonna hurt?
We're at what, six
like 656 or something like that.
No, I think it's like 657.
Okay.
So if we could just get like 223. I'm sorry. 223 people to subscribe. That would do it.
I would help out too. I would, put people in the interrogation to subscribe to the channel. I'll do something.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this because we got to get going. I do not want to be the reason that Keyshawn gets fired today.
This happened. You guys, I hate you both. I hate you about the Bills. I would like to get fired from my job. I would prefer to be fired from my job because you guys say. I can't.
Oh my gosh. Anything to bang on the Bills because I hate my life and my job, people. This is what I live for.
I live for this moment.
Oh my gosh. All right, look, we got to jump out the window. So this is what I need everybody to do. I need you to go ahead to bam. Nope, phone is blocking it. All right. Right there.
You suck.
I know. I'm terrible at this. Reverse everything. So yeah, go ahead and do our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Excuse me. Go ahead and hit that like button and hit that bell. You got to hit the bell. If you don't hit the bell, it makes everything else you did invalid. It invalidates everything else. I've spoken.
Unless you sub.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you like and subscribe,
Yeah, okay,
you
yes,
gotta
yes,
hit
yes,
the bell,
yes.
because if you hit the bell, you can get notifications when we send notifications, and you're gonna get notifications like with the new schedule being out. We are shooting the Madden content. It is currently being shot. Also, I want to make a quick announcement for the Babyface Assassin YouTube channel. Right,
Yes.
that's our producer Junie's gaming channel that he just started. He's going live for the first time this Saturday at 12 noon. So if you guys are just sitting around on the couch and need something to do, some entertainment, he's going to be playing The Last of Us. I actually just started watching that show on HBO Max. That show is great, and I think the game is even better from what I've heard. So make sure you check that out.
100%. It's much better. There are some details in the plot twist in the show that is quite different. But if you guys want to watch that, stay tuned. Like I said, my pops at 12 p.m. afternoon. So stay tuned to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Listen, memberships are there. If you need the email, I will put the email in the chat. One more again before we get out of here. It is postpodiumpodcast@gmail.com. Bang. There it is. Right at the bottom. Go ahead, copy, paste that. Get in there. I can send you the Discord link, and then you can get in. We talk what? All around the clock. I mean, you're
Basically.
usually up until 3 or 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, so if we got some people out there, I think Dorothy works overnight or something like that too, right?
Oh, Eli's in Seattle.
There you go. So listen, it's a great time in that Discord chat. We talk about a lot of stuff. Also, Hi Mike High Tech. If you have any technical issues, if you need anything installed, if you need a computer built, whatever your technical needs are, whether they be repair or production, go to highmikehighTech.com. Talk to Rich. He is the man when it comes to that stuff. Great prices, great product. The man he's amazing. That's all I can say about that. Look, with that being said, we got to get out of here. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
And I've been the hater. No, this is 40 Keys. I'll see you later.
This is Crash Out, your producer. Love y'all, folks.
How does he do that with the fingers, man?
But Spin, I hate you, bro.
Square.
Spin. Oh, yes. 2 against 1 now, Spin. In your face. In your face. All right, we got to get out of here. Y'all have a great night. Peace.
All right, boo. I don't know.